Strategic Dream: Putting the Power of Your Subconscious Mind to Work by Joseph Murphy. Reach new levels of career success using the power of your subconscious mind. Chapter 13: Expressing Sincere Appreciation. Everyone wants to be loved and appreciated. Everyone needs to feel important in the world. Realize other people are conscious of their true worth like you. They feel the dignity of being an expression of the one life principle animating all people. As you do this consciously and knowingly, you build up these people and they return your love and goodwill. In the book of Proverbs, Solomon says, "Be quick to give praises when it's due," and this includes appreciation, courtesy, and civility. We see examples daily of a lack of these manners in many individuals and families. Confucius was correct in saying, "The practices of morality begins with the individual in one's home." It is not unusual to hear, "No matter what I do, it is never enough." He or she never appreciates it or even says thanks. The obvious question becomes, how often do you say, "Thanks, I appreciate you. I think you are a valuable member of our team"? If you want to hear these energizing words, it is wise to say them to others, daily until comfortable, and really mean them. The golden rule applied is appreciation in action. Too often we take our employees and coworkers for granted. We assume that they know we appreciate them and we are shocked when they quit to take another job. When Tony E. left his job with the building maintenance company, he was asked at his exit interview what he liked most and he least about the company. Tony responded that although the salary and benefits were good, he never felt that he was part of the organization. "I always felt that I was looked at as nothing more than a cog in the machine," he said. "During the 9 months I worked in the department, I made several suggestions, offered to take one extra project, and tried to apply creative approaches to some of the work assigned to me. My boss didn't recognize all that I could have contributed." Had the company recognized Tony's capabilities and shown its appreciation by discussing his suggestions and showing how much the company valued his work, the company would have retained a very valuable employee. Show appreciation. William James, the great American psychologist, stated that the deepest urge in human nature is the craving to be appreciated. In our daily lives, both in our personal dealings and on the job, we often forget to express our appreciation to those who make our success possible. We tend to look for the things to criticize rather than things to compliment. Showing appreciation not only makes the interrelationship of the job much more pleasant, but it builds a spirit of cooperation and collaboration in the team. It makes all of the team more amenable when it's necessary to persuade them to your way of thinking. Make it a major point to have, at a minimum, a friendly relationship with all your colleagues and, optimally, a warm and close rapport. One way to accomplish this is to show appreciation to these people for their efforts and anything they do that helps you. Many business executives feel that an increase in salary or a bonus is a sufficient indication of appreciation for a job well done. Of course, workers do expect tangible rewards for work well done, but money alone is not enough. A businessman in Maryland told how he did more. One of his employees had consistently produced more than others. He had given above and beyond the call of duty of his job. His bonus was more than the others received, but money did not express the executive's feelings, so she wrote him a personal letter of appreciation, which he enclosed with the bonus check. In the letter, he thanked him and told him how much he meant to the company. Later, the employee thanked him for writing it. He said it made him cry and would have cherished that letter and kept it forever. During the pre-Thanksgiving rush at Stu Leonard's Food Market in Norwalk, Connecticut, several office personnel noticed the long creeping lines at checkout counters, and, with no prompting from management, left their regular work duties to help cashiers bag the groceries, which helped speed up the lines. Stu, the owner of the market, resolves to do something special for the employees who helped out. After the holiday rush was over, he bought each of them a beautifully knitted shirt with embroidery inscriptions: Stu Leonard ABCD Award. The inscription stood for Above and Beyond the Call of Duty. By giving special recognition to associates who did more than their jobs required, he not only gave credit where credit was due, but also let everyone, the associates and their coworkers and supervisors, in addition to customers, know that he appreciated the extra effort. Why do people fail to express appreciation? It is often assumed that appreciation is tactically given when one says thank you. Sometimes it is not considered necessary because the other person is just doing his or her job. Occasionally, appreciation is not forthcoming because the person who should express it consider it as a sign of weakness or believes it will reflect on his or her own inequities. That person may subconsciously think, if I tell them they did well, they and others may feel I am inferior to them. There is no basis for such a conclusion. All great people have repeatedly expressed their gratitude to those who have been helpful to them. In fact, it improves the image of strength they have earned and engenders a higher degree of loyalty among their followers. One needs to be infused in expressing appreciation, a sincere acknowledgement of how you feel about the work done or the service rendered, or the pride you have in specific accomplishment is enough. Nobody ever tries to receive honest appreciation. Assuming that your appreciation is implied without being expressed in short, changing the other person, tell that person that you appreciate what has been done and why you feel that way. In situations that are the results of a specific act, express your appreciation as soon as possible after the completion of his act, like putting icing on a cake. Your expression of appreciation will sweeten the joy of the accomplishment itself. Appreciation must be sincere. One has to really feel and believe what one is saying for it to come through to the other party as sincere. Insincerity cannot be disguised by fancy words. Your voice, your eyes, and your body language all reflects your true feelings. There is no reason to fake expressions of appreciation. Most of us have much we do appreciate and so many people who deserve our sincere gratitude. We should recognize that extra effort put out by our employees or our teammates, what special empathy that we receive from our friends and relatives, or that additional encouragement given to us by our colleagues. The realization that we owe so much to these people should tap the well of true and sincere gratitude that is deep in our hearts. Let it flow. Do not stifle it as if it reaches your mouth. Let it spill forth into the ears of those who deserve it and the lives of yours as well with a little better that day. Providing positive reinforcement. An autocratic boss continually criticizes, condemns, and complains and never forgets negative performance, but he or she always takes a good performance for granted. Managers today have found that reinforcing the good things their associates do rather than harping on their mistakes and inefficiencies that have resulted in higher morals and greater productivity. When people hear continual criticism, they begin to feel stupid, inferior, resentful. Although someone may have done something that wasn't satisfactory, your objective should be to correct the behavior, not to make the person feel bad. The famous psychologist B.F. Skinner noted that criticism often reinforces poor behavior, when the only time offenders get attention is when they are being criticized. He recommended that we minimize our reaction to poor behavior and maximize our appreciation of good behavior. when people are constantly criticized, they formulate a pattern of failure that penetrates into their subconscious mind. They look upon themselves as adequate as this exacerbates their failure rates. To avoid this, replace criticism with guidance. Rather than ball out when an associate from being something wrong, quietly tell the person, "You're making some progress in the work, but we still have a long way to go. Let me show you some ways to do it more rapidly. When we work does improve, make a big fuss over it." In this way, positive rather than negative thoughts are fed to the subconscious mind. Some superior fear that giving praise indicates softness on their part. We do not want to coddle our subordinates. Praise is not softness. It is a positive approach that reinforces good performance. When you stop thinking of your staff members as subordinates and instead of thinking of them as partners, with you all working to reach the same goal, appropriate praise will become a natural part of your behavior. Don't praise indiscriminately. Human beings thrive on praise. Although all of us require praise to help make us feel good about ourselves, you can't praise people indiscriminately. Praise should be reversed for accomplishments that are worthy of special acknowledgement. So, how do you deal with people who never do anything particularly praiseworthy? Maria C. faced this situation in her group of words processors. Several marginal operators had the attitude that as long as they meet their quotas, they were doing okay. Praising them for meeting quotas only reinforced their belief that nothing more was expected of them. Criticism of the failure to do more than the quota required was greeted with the response, "I'm doing my job." Maria decided to try a different kind of positive reinforcement. She gave one of the operators a special assignment for which no production quota had been set. When the job was completed, Maria praised the employee's fine work. She followed this practice with all new assignments and eventually had the opportunity to sincerely praise each of the word's processors. Sometimes we tend to look for things to criticize rather than things to compliment. Because you expect your staff to perform well, you may concentrate on strengthening areas of weaknesses. Douglas P., a regional superior from a California supermarket chain, made regular visits to the 8 stores under his jurisdiction. He reported that when he went into the store, he looked for problems. He criticized store managers for the way products were displayed, for slow moving checkout lines, and anything else he noticed. "That's my job," he said, "to make sure that everything is being done correctly." As you can guess, everyone working in the store dreaded his visits. Douglas' boss acknowledged to him the importance of improving what was wrong, but also pointed out that because the stores exceeded sales volumes forecast and kept costs down, the manager needed to hear compliments of their success. His boss suggested that Douglas seek out good things and express his approbation. Douglas was encouraged to make suggestions for improvements, but not to make them the focus of his visit. Although it wasn't easy, Douglas followed his boss' advice. Within a few months, store managers looked forward to his visits. They began to share new ideas and seek his counsel about store issues. Clerks and other store staffers soon overcame their fear of their big boss and welcomed his comments and suggestions. 5 tips for effective praise. As important as praise it is motivating people, it doesn't always work. Some supervisors praise every minor activity, diminishing the value of praise for real accomplishments. Others deliver praise in such a way that it seems phony. To make your praise more meaningful, follow these suggestions. Don't overdo it. Praise is sweet. Candy is sweet too, but the more you eat, the less sweet each piece becomes, and you may get a stomachache. Too much praise reduces the benefit that deviates from each bit of praise. If it is overdone, it loses its value altogether. Be sincere. You can't fake sincerity. You must truly believe that what you are praising your associates for is actually commendable. If you don't believe it in yourself, neither will your associates. Be specific about the reason for your praise. Rather than saying, great job, is much better to say, to report you submitted on the XYZ matter enabled me to understand more clearly to complexities of the issue. 4. Ask for your associates' advice. Nothing is more flattering than to be asked for advice about how to handle a situation. This approach can be backfire. Though, if you don't take the advice, if you have the reject advice, ask people questions about their inadequate answers until they see the error of their ways that come up with good advice. 5. Publicize praise. Just as a reprimand should always be given in private, praising should be done, whenever possible, in public. Sometimes the manner for which praise is given is a private issue, but often it is appropriate to let your entire group in on the praise. If other staff members are aware of the praise you give a colleague, it spurs them to work for similar recognition. Make a fuss over achievers. In some cases, praise for significant accomplishments should be made public, such as a meeting or company events. When praiseworthy accomplishments are publicized and the achievers are lauded in the front of their peers, it encounters others to emulate them. In chapter 11, you read about Mary Kay. One way her company was motivated its people is giving recognition to associates who have accomplished outstanding performance. In addition to receiving awards and plaques, award winners are feted at a company convention and publicized in the company's magazine. Attending a Mary Kay convention is similar to attending a victory celebration. Winners are called to the stage and presented with their awards to the cheers and applause of an audience. Award winners report that recognition from a senior executive and acclaims from their peers is as rewarding as the award itself. Give them something they can keep. Award vary as most companies from expensive plaques or to keens to cash payments, luxury merchandise, or exotic travel. Mary Kay's highest and most coveted award is her famous pink Cadillacs. Given to her highest achievers in the company's award celebrations. To receive this award, salesperson must meet a sincere of challenges and criteria. It is not easy to win, but every year more Mary Kay associates make the grade. Mary Kay doesn't give the cars away. The company leases a car to each winner for 1 year. In order to keep a car or upgrade to the next year's model, the sales rep must continue to meet the standards. What an incentive to keep up the good work. As a result, relatively few winners have to give up their cars. It is not necessary to elaborate gifts like Mary Kay's Cadillacs. No matter what type of award you give employees, large or small, it's worth spending a few more dollars to include a certificate or plaque. Employees love to hang these mementos in their cubicles or offices, over their workbenches, or in their homes. The cash gets spent, the merchandise wears out, the trip becomes a long past memory, but a certificate or plaque or even just a thank you note is a permanent reminder of the recognition. Success follows the scoreboard. Hillary M., the sales manager of a large real estate office in Florida, makes a practice of spending letters of appreciation to sales staffers who do something special, selling a property that has been difficult to move on, obtaining sales rights to a profitable building, or taking creative steps to make a sale. With the first of these letters that Hillary sends to a salesperson, she enclosed a file folder labeled Success File. With the suggestions, file the enclosed letter in this folder, add it to any other commendatory letters you receive from me, from the managers, from the clients, and from anyone else. Also record in this file all your special achievements such as winning sale awards, beating a sale quota, opening a new account, etc. As time goes on, you may experience failure or disappointment. There may be times when you don't feel good about yourself. When this happens, reread these letters. They're proof that you're a success, that you have the capability, that you are a special person. You did it before, you can do it again. The recipients of Hillary letters repeatedly tell her how reading the letters helps them overcome sales slumps, periods of depression, and general disenchantments when things aren't going well. It reprograms their psyches by reinforcing their self esteem and enables them to face problems with new strength and confidence. Encourage peer recognition. Another successful motivational approach is peer recognition. Companies encourage associates to praise or give formal recognition to colleagues who have made their job easier or more satisfying. One way to do this is to have associates consider other employees with whom they interact as internal customers or internal suppliers. Supervisors, managers, and team leaders aren't the only people who see the special effort in their associates make. All team members and coworkers are exposed daily to one another's efforts. Enabling to recognize the work of the peers not only brings to the forefront any accomplishments that may have been recognized by managers, but also makes both the nominator and the nominee feel that they are part of the integrated, interrelated, and caring organization. One company that has achieved great results in doing this is Mini Circuit Labs, which is a plant in Brooklyn, New York, and Hyla, Florida. This firm provides all its members with "You Made My Day" forms, in which any employee can write a message of thank you to any coworker, subordinate, or staff member who has earned that employee's special appreciation that day. At the A&G Merchandising Company in Wellington, Delaware, team leaders are given packets of thank you cards on which the word thank you are printed in beautiful scripts. On the front flap of the inside of the card is left blank. Whenever someone does something worthy of special recognition, that person's team leader writes a note on the cards detailing the special accomplishments and congratulating the employee for achieving it. The receipt shares the card and shows them to friends and family. Sum and substance. Nobody ever tries of receiving honest appreciation, assuming that your appreciation is implied without being expressed is short-changing to other people. Tell that person that you appreciate what has been done and why you feel that way. When people hear continual criticism, they begin to feel stupid, inferior, resentful. Although someone may have done something that wasn't satisfactory, your objective should be to correct the behavior, not to make the person feel bad. When people are constantly criticized, they formulate a pattern of failure that penetrates into their subconscious mind. They look upon themselves as inadequate, and this exacerbates their failure rate. To avoid this, replace criticism with guidance rather than bawl out at the associates for doing something wrong. Quietly tell the person, "You're making some progress in the work. Let me show you some ways to do it more rapidly." When the work does improve, make a big fuss over it. In this way, positive rather than negative thoughts are fed into the subconscious mind. Praise is not softness. It's a positive approach that reinforces good performance when you stop thinking of your staff members as subordinates and instead think of them as partners all working to reach the same goal. Appropriate praise will become a natural part of your behavior. Praise should be reserved for accomplishments that are worthy of special acknowledgement. By focusing on positive things, by giving attention and appreciation to the good things people do, you reinforce their desire to do the right thing. When praiseworthy accomplishments are publicized and the achievers are lauded in front of their peers, it encourages others to emulate them. Encourage associates to praise or give formal recognition to colleagues who have made their jobs easier or more satisfying. Turning your dream into a strategic dream. Dream big. Peace.